Hello, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I am Matt Pashuk, and I am a guest today, and I am here with...
Devin Grubb.
And Zach Grubb.
Very good.
Who are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the one, the only, the legendary, Dusty Buns.
Yay!
I hear this guy gets it done.
Dusty Buns does get it done all the time, all day, every day. He's our favorite, if you haven't guessed by our catchphrase.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a second favorite for me. I think my favorite is still his big brother.
No, Dustin. Dustin.
They're
All about
tied.
Dustin.
They're tied for me.
It's a fair tie, I think.
Absolutely.
But we got a lot to say.
We do have a lot to say.
Because Dustin goes through a lot of development as a character, through every season. He's got an arc
for sure.
every season. Not everybody does.
No, it's absolutely. I would completely agree. So I guess we'll just dive right into season 1 and our introduction to Dustin, which is a little bit different than the Dustin that we know, because
Yes, it is extremely different.
More timid in season 1 than any of the other seasons.
The very first time we meet Dustin, he's the one telling them to play it safe in their D&D game. He wants Will the Wise to cast protection instead of going for the fireball.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who's saying, let's regroup and figure out what to do, when that is very much not who he is by the end of this show.
No.
Antithesis.
Yeah. He's also, super... I don't want to say hesitant, because he does go with them, but he's definitely, more worried and scared about them going out on their own to try and find Will.
They seemed like at the very beginning they were trying to do a Goonies thing. And that
With
Dustin
them.
was...
Yeah.
Dustin
was the chunk character.
Yeah, the whole vibe of the show, season 1, feels a lot
Very
more Goonies.
Goonies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they had him grow out of that. I'm glad they found their own dynamic.
Yeah.
But he's also introduced as kind of the sweetest member of the group, because after they finish up their D&D game, before he leaves, he tries to give Nancy pizza.
He does.
He runs up to her room and he's like, "Hey, I saved this for you." Or we had leftovers, do you want some? And she's kind of a jerk to him.
She's kind of.
She's a teenage girl being annoyed by a small boy. Shutting her door in his face is pretty standard, but a little jerky.
And you guys did Nancy.
We
earlier,
already, Nancy was our second episode of this series.
We all know that Nancy comes around.
Yeah, they held on a little bit to the bitchy older sister thing in season 1.
Yeah.
So that, it's weird. Everybody was kind of just a weaker example of the archetype that they wanted, and then they just kind of let them grow a bit.
Not to get out of talking about the characters we're talking about, but I would argue except for Steve.
Yeah, Steve is the most human.
In
I feel
in
of
season
the characters.
1?
Overall.
Steve and Will.
Yeah.
Season 1, we're talking. Yeah.
Oh, season 1 specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
But let's get back to Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead, guys.
Already.
Yeah, it's so hard to talk about Dustin without talking about Steve.
And we're having our Dustin episode, and we're going to talk extensively on Dustin, and we're probably going to talk about Dustin when we have Steve's episode, whenever we have that one.
Yeah.
So, it's just what's going to happen.
The
two of them are so tied together.
Yeah. I'm also here, so it may be a 3-hour episode, but we'll see.
We can't say how long any of the episodes are because we always get it wrong. Last week we talked about all the random characters, and we were
still came under. It was still short for us.
Oh, this is gonna be a short one. It was 49 minutes long.
No. It was shorter than our regular ones.
Okay.
It was longer than we thought it was gonna be, but we pulled it off. We came in under.
We digress. Anywho, he's hesitant about Elle until she shows her powers. Then he's immediately on board. Here, make this Millennium Falcon float.
Yeah, he does kind of treat her like she's a toy.
She's a toy.
But he's
innocently.
He's an 11, 12-year-old boy.
You have
like,
superpowers?
You have superpowers.
Show me.
Show me. Like, what else can you do?
Yep.
Don't show me to prove it. Show me because I think it's going to be cool.
Right.
But he starts off with his smartass streak right out of the
I was
gate.
gonna say he's been very know-it-all-y from the beginning. The tone, his tone is always right.
Yeah, he is the boy who thinks he is always correct. I wrote magnet/pudding.
Magnets.
Magnets.
Something
slash
about
pudding.
season one
pudding.
having to do with magnets, but also the whole pudding
The
thing.
pudding thing, yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
she
magnets
stashes the
is.
pudding.
I think that gets brought up more than once.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you were talking about. Like, I think they mentioned the pudding earlier in the season,
They
and then
definitely
he
do.
finds it. I found the chocolate pudding.
I knew she was hoarding the stuff. Yeah.
My favorite thing that he says though is when he calls Mr. Clark to try to find out how to make the sensory deprivation tank, and he's like, why are you keeping this door of curiosity locked?
Yeah.
Some of
So
his
silly.
lines are just ridiculous in the best way.
He was
So
definitely
good.
meant to be the comedic relief at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of the comedic relief throughout until you get to season 5.
I don't know. I think Dustin has some serious arcs even before that.
No,
like, he's
like,
not really the
They're
comic-
more
But
like
he's-
sprinkled in. Like even
Yeah.
season
Right,
3,
like,
like
he's-
you die, I die.
Right,
Like, that's
like,
like whoa.
He's got his arcs, but
season
he's
2.
no, You Die,
That's
I Die
3.
is season 3.
That's
Sorry.
when they're
No.
about to go down in the elevator. They're down in the elevator.
When Steve's gonna open up the thing and he tells him to back off.
That's season 2.
Operation.
That's dark.
That-
No,
No,
that's
it's not.
Operation
That's
Operation
Scoops
Child.
Ahoy.
Operation
Yes.
Child Endangerment.
That's when they're in the elevator.
I thought he said "You Die, I Die"
No.
in season 2 when he's going after Dart.
They're about to
No.
open the box
When
that
they're
they
open- yeah.
found.
Okay.
And Steve wants him
Yep.
to back up in case it's a bomb, and he's like, "No, you die, I die." Because
Which-
at that point they're already established as like we're bros.
You're
Which
right.
I
You're
love
right.
how metal of a line that is, even before they introduce Eddie
Yeah.
and the Dustin dynamic. It's like, oh shit.
Right.
You Die, I Die.
even
crazy.
Steve just looks at him. He's like,
Okay.
oh, okay.
I didn't expect that ride or die behavior from you, bud.
I mean, I don't really have anything else for season 1.
Yeah, season 1, he's
Season
not as
1,
fleshed out.
He
nobody
fills a
is.
very specific niche in season 1.
Mhm.
He's there to make us laugh, and he's there to kind of bring the party together.
But that's
Yeah.
what I want. So, like, yes, he does have serious bits in all of this season, but he is definitely the one character who does have a lot more, like, comedic type things.
He's got the comedic tone.
The comedic tone. He's got the funnier lines. He's got, like, the quips with people. It's really only until season 5 that we kind of lose that with him.
We'll
Get that when we get to season 5.
But like you guys were saying earlier, like the whole Goonies dynamic, how he's like the chunk. Even when they're getting like bullied in season 1, like the whole scene where like the bullies make him do like the arm thing.
Yeah.
It's like that feels very do the truffle shuffle. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just like, yeah,
But
do the thing.
But his friends make him do the truffle shuffle. That's the difference.
That's where it's different.
Yeah.
Well, because in the 80s, your friends were your bullies.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and the bullies, especially the Stephen King-esque bullies that they have in Stranger Things,
Yeah.
like they're all like serial killers, basically.
Yeah. Well, they kind of are. He tries to, like,
Cut his teeth
cut
out.
his teeth out.
Oh, crazy scene.
That, oh, yeah, she's our friend. She's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But that is brought on by horrific. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Why?
Gonna
why
make
you're
Mike
gonna
jump to his death.
jump
Yeah.
to his death, or he's gonna cut out his
But
teeth?
see, like, here's the thing, and I think this gets into a lot of what people said about, especially season 5 of Stranger Things, where they lost the 80s vibes, especially with their characters and their filmmaking. They tried to keep it alive in very superficial ways later on in the show. And season 1 had this tone that it was a film ripped straight from the 80s that I don't think any of the other seasons capture.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. it's like it's not my favorite season. I've been here.
No.
We've talked about this, but it's like I would say objectively, like season 1 just feels the most just contained. Like it feels like the most like
Okay, it was definitely
complete
written that
idea.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like even let's say like the show didn't gain any popularity and didn't move on to season 2. Like I'd be pretty satisfied.
I was just gonna
of
say
just having this season. Of a
season 1
story.
could
I
stand
still-
alone.
I still
Yeah.
remember the first time we all watched the show. And
Mhm.
we had that conversation. We were like, if they don't bring it back,
It's
I'm
okay.
still going to be happy.
Yeah.
It's an open. It's just an open ending, basically, like him Hopper leaving the waffles
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
everything.
It's open in ways that are still satisfying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like, not to, you know what? I don't want to
We're
digress
not.
too much.
Let's
We'll
let's
stop
go
there.
to season 2 because I know where you're going, and we're not gonna go there. Season 2, Dustin.
I have gripes. No, sorry. Go on. Season 2, Dustin.
Season 2, Dustin. He's got his teeth.
He's got teeth and he's confident.
He's
Yeah.
flashing his pearls.
And he really wants to do that tiger growl, and he's really bad at it.
Really wants to impress Max.
Which I think Dustin's storyline is the carrier for, since it's my least favorite. Well, second least favorite now that season 5 exists. But season 2 was usually my least favorite. But I feel like his storyline kind of carries that season.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I'm with you.
All of the stuff with like with him and Dart and all
And
that.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, because
His developing it before
yes.
the ice cream parlor, like
yeah, their relation with their him getting Steve at the Wheeler's house is just like every time we watch it, I'm like, oh, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
yeah, them walking
Like
on the
walking
train
on the
tracks.
train
Yep.
tracks and him getting
Stand by me.
giving him advice on stuff and
But also, like, I feel like that was Stranger Things starting to find its footing in being its own thing.
Which
do you
Dustin
mean?
and Steve's dynamic. Because it's something so far out of left field for that 80s movie vibe
mhm.
that they captured in season 1 that they were starting to move away from. I feel like their dynamic in season 2 is them starting to kind of make Stranger Things its own thing outside of any show that's been created already.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just
Mhm.
saw it as like adding character development
well, yeah.
because like
Yeah,
there
I mean-
really isn't a whole hell of a lot just in the first season.
I'm with you there, but I'm saying, like, who in their right mind ever would have put those two characters together to develop?
Right, that's what makes it. That's what makes
Yeah.
it interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it like coming off of season 1, they are not two people that you would have ever expected to be in the same room together.
Yeah.
Let alone bonding.
Yeah.
Even the beginning of season 2, before they start hanging out. Like, I have all my notes about how he's like super inquisitive.
Mhm.
He's investigating Dart and trying to find out everything he can, and we're trying to start building him as a character.
I need my
I
paddles.
need my curiosity paddles. Yeah. This is still not a character you would expect to spend any time with Steve Harrington.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it's like, oh, there's a really interesting dynamic here that
Mhm.
we should explore.
They
And-
bring out the best in each other.
Yeah, and
Dustin
thank
Steve.
God they explore this through the show.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily dropped it after the season, and they didn't.
Coming away from talking about Steve, his relationship with Steve, he's got a very good relationship with his mom. He's also he's kind of paternal with his mom.
We
Yeah.
get the idea that he has to be.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
she's very all about her muse and everything, and she's
Her
she's
cat.
a single mom. It's just the two of them, and I love seeing their dynamic together. Like, we
Which-
don't get it a lot. You see it in this season. You see it at the end of season 5. You kind of see a little bit of it in season 4, but that's it.
It's like
But every time they're together, it's really well done. They're really good together.
It's on a much more subdued scale, but the season 2 relationship between Dustin and his mother, it really keep mentioning Stephen King. Like, it reminds me a lot of, I forget the name because I'm a fake fan, but in it,
Yeah.
the germaphobe character, him
Yeah.
and his mom, like there it's like a lot more oppressive, like, oh no, the germs or whatever. But
Yeah.
like in this, it's just like it's kind of like, hi mommy, like, oh,
what
my
if
baby
that
boy.
relationship was
Like,
healthy?
yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay, you're gonna have some issues when you get older, but it's like at the same time, they're very. She's a very good parent. Like,
I think a lot of what we see of Dustin as a character can be tied back to that relationship, actually,
With his mom.
with his mom,
Mhm.
because
And the
it's like,
lack of a father.
it's like you said, Dustin's been parentified in a sense. Like,
Mhm.
yes, his mom's looking out for him, but they also have her as a very, like, she doesn't seem to be able to do much for herself.
No, she's very.
Dustin
I don't know
reassures
what word to put on her, but
She's almost like a shut-in without being a shut-in.
yeah.
Like Gilbert Grape without all the trauma.
Oh, man. I'm loving the references.
Yeah, so
out.
I'm just
good. But like, I feel like it adds a layer to Dustin that makes a lot of who he is kind of fall into place, because yes, they have a very cute dynamic, and it seems like he has a good relationship with his mom, but also Dustin has way more responsibility
Than all
on
the
him
other
than he
kids.
should.
Yeah.
And like, we see him at home acting as the parent with
Yeah.
his mom.
Yeah.
So him acting like the comic relief kid with his friends is him being like, I just want to be a kid.
I just want to be. Yep.
Yeah, because
makes sense.
he doesn't get that at home, really.
Right. Oh, we could go into that. We could get real deep.
Do it.
We could do it.
Do it.
Well, not right now.
Another good line. This is this kind of is the start of his beef with Ted.
Yeah.
When right before he's paired with Steve, he's trying to find Mike or Nancy, and Ted answers the door, and he's like, "Oh, my children don't live here. Didn't you know that?"
You know my kids
And he's
don't
like,
live here.
"You son of a bitch, you're really no help, you know."
Does he say you're useless?
Something, yeah, but no, son of a bitch, you're really no help, you know that? As he walks away.
Language. Shout out to my
God.
boy.
He takes no offense to it. He's just like,
No,
language.
he's just like,
because
dude,
he
like,
couldn't be bothered to give a shit.
Yep.
But you're right. That's where the
that's
antagonistic
that's kind of
relationship
where
starts.
that starts.
Yeah, because when is the bacon thing?
You know what? Hold up.
Is that season 2?
No, what
That's later.
when Dustin eats all the bacon?
Yeah.
That's season 4.
Okay.
But you know
Oh,
what? You know what?
shit.
Yeah.
We just had this little conversation about Dustin being parentified in his relationship with his mom, and then he sees Ted, and Ted's a useless ass dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dustin's like, I'm better at this than you are. What the hell is wrong with you?
He sees right through it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's great.
mhm.
So good. And then friendship.
Friendship.
That's a SpongeBob imagination rainbow. Friendship.
Great reference.
That's good. I like that.
He's got stars in his eyes for Steve, even if he's doing something stupid like trying to fight a bunch of demodogs with a baseball bat by himself.
Steve warms up to him very quickly. Dustin was clearly craving some kind of relationship with an older male figure, and Steve gives that to him immediately.
To quote him in season 4, Dustin says that about Eddie
Does
to
he?
Steve. You're just jealous that I have an older male friend.
But like, yeah, he kind of needed that, I think.
Yeah.
Dustin sees Steve as a hero, like, immediately. And, like, they have that whole conversation on the train tracks.
Yeah.
He's like, Farrah Fawcett hairspray. He's like, you're kidding me.
To me, that's where their relationship really begins.
Yeah.
Because like Steve giving him girl advice, etc. Because isn't he's crushing on Max, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that advice isn't just do what I say, it's like, I'm going to tell you something that I don't talk about.
Yeah.
Steve is weirdly vulnerable with him.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
and like comfortable, like
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm down for this.
And Dustin's smart enough to recognize that, like, oh, I think I'm special. Like, you don't just tell someone that.
Right. Yeah, and like it's so odd that it's just such a weird relationship on paper, but it works. It's just because
Mhm.
especially with how Steve is introduced in season 1.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, I don't want to give
Yeah,
too
well,
much
we're
away,
going so
but-
far into Steve
Well, you have to discuss
to
the
discuss
dynamic.
the dynamic, yeah, because it's character growth for
all I'll
Dustin.
say is up until the moment where Steve has the fight in the alley and the moment where Steve shows up to the house with Jonathan and Nancy, he's really like kind of barely a character. He's just the dickhead boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But those those two scenes, which I will not elaborate on, but they show you him more as like he has more depth.
I would
It was
argue,
interesting to put him and Dustin together during that train track scene. Because it's just like Steve offering advice, but it's actually good.
I would argue
Dustin
that
accepting
they,
it and
they do a
responding to it
little
well.
more foreshadowing there than I would argue there's a little more foreshadowing there than what you're letting on, just because
What do you mean?
he has his asshole friends who are constantly talking shit.
Well,
and
he doesn't want to get into too much of it
Yeah.
because it's not. We're
Yeah,
not talking about Steve today.
I'm
But
just
it
saying at
makes
face
the-
value.
It makes those moments with Dustin be more like light bulbs of, you know what, we got some kind of shade that there was more to this person.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see it in this relationship with Dustin.
Yeah. It starts with Dustin.
Yeah.
It starts with Dustin. He
What?
introduces the concept of the mind flayer. He
does.
introduces that.
Mm-hmm.
I also have, because in that same minute he hates being wrong or corrective, yet he loves to correct others.
I'm going to bring that back to the parentification. He has to be right. He has to.
He has to be right.
That is a character trait of Dustin. He has to be right. And he has to be right because for presumably his whole life up until Steve is involved, at home, he needs to be right. And his mom dotes on him.
Or does she dote on him? Or does he dote on her?
Both.
Okay.
I love their relationship.
Me too.
They're adorable.
They're
No,
so
no one's saying they're not.
It's cute. It's just cute.
Cute, right?
Cute, right? Do you have anything else for season 2?
I mean, along the same line as you, Dustin hates being corrected so much. Metaphor versus analogy. It's not a metaphor, it's an analogy.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think towards the end of season 2, he has Steve stuff the dead Demodog in the freezer.
It's a scientific discovery.
That doesn't go anywhere.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Like, Joyce just comes home.
It's a Demodog in a freezer.
Joyce comes home to a practically destroyed living room because of the Steve and Billy fight. And, you know, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go get myself a drink. And, oh, wait, I'm going to open my freezer and there's a dead Demodog just hanging out.
Yep. Yeah, they kind of don't say anything about that ever again.
No.
I think there's something else. Dart. So Dustin actually does something that creates this idea that never goes anywhere. What happens when you're separated from the hive mind? We do get some kind of idea of that with Will, because Will is but Will is human.
Mm-hmm.
Dart has some kind of semblance of like sentience outside of the hive mind.
Yeah.
Dustin raises it.
Yeah.
But also, I think there's like a sense of disbelief or an ignorance that is necessary for it in the grand scheme of things. But I feel like all that is it just has to do with the timeline of evolution of a demodog's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, maybe it is more susceptible to whatever is in its environment when it's in those earlier stages, and then later on when it eats the cat and Dustin starts to lose control of it, I feel like that's like as they mature, however rapidly it may be. I don't know the exact timeline,
But
that's when they start to get more connected to the hive mind.
But Dart still doesn't kill him.
Yeah, he lets him go when he gives him the
It
nougat.
doesn't. So yeah, there's definitely a sentience there where it's just like, this is my master kind of thing.
Or at least he
Even-
recognizes him.
Yeah.
To a point where the order of kill everything in front of you is like, well, not him.
Not him.
Right. It's almost like what are the rules there? Like, could anybody kind of just grab a little worm baby and then raise it as a demodog? And
Wouldn't
teach
it have been
or...
fantastic if at the end of season 5, when they're running through this new dimension, a Demogorgon with green stripes shows up?
Bad dogs aren't born, they're made.
We were fatigued.
We were fatigued. We had Dart fatigue.
We were fatigued.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Fire that woman. Never let her work in Hollywood again.
God. Okay.
I don't know her name, so I'm not allowed to say it.
Was she the one who said it, or was he? No, the
No,
woman was the
she
one who
said
said
it.
She was the one who said.
Okay.
She
I'm
said,
just
I think
worried
we had
about Demogorgon.
I'm worried about them.
Okay.
They were putting that on the table, like having monsters and everything, and she's like, I'm just worried about Demogorgon fatigue.
And they listened. They listened.
Like, nobody's fatigued but you.
They just threw it in ChatGPT and let it write their
Let-
season.
We
Anyway.
digress. Dustin.
Dustin.
Great character.
Season 3.
Hmm.
Do we want to talk about him meeting Susie before we jump into season 3?
Oh, like going into the comic? I mean, if you want to, my brother, he's never read it. I don't remember a whole lot of it. So if you just want to put it in a nutshell,
I can make this
this
very
is how
short.
Dustin met Susie.
I can make this very, very short. Dustin goes away to his camp, his science camp.
Camp Nowhere.
Camp Nowhere. He is he's the coolest person at that camp because everybody wants to play Dungeons and Dragons, and he tells everyone that he can dungeon master. He has no idea how to do this. He's never done it. And he ends up running his own campaign, and it's great. He meets Susie. They solve a mystery at the camp. I won't get too far into it, but they fall in love. Bada bing, bada boom. But it also sets this precedent now that Dustin has done his D&D research beyond just being a player, and it makes the fact that he's the person who makes all the Dungeons and Dragons connections make more sense. Because previously you would think that would be Mike.
Yeah.
So we do have this baseline of, okay, Dustin went deeper into this than just being a player, and now he knows all the moving parts. I'll leave it there. That's all that we need to know.
I just have one little thing to add to that, even though this isn't the Mike episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they're all connected. Go for it.
Dustin has a lot of development from like season 1 and 5. Mike's pretty stagnant or convenient to the plot in pretty much every scenario throughout the entire series.
He's
biggest
got
issue with
ups and downs.
my biggest
which
issue
we,
with
when
Mike
we,
is
we
serious
talked about.
backslides.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
he'll go, he goes from, you meet him, he's this like brave kid or whatever, and that and season 2 he's this great friend to Will, and he's there for him, he's there with him in the hospital, and
But he's also baseline angry.
But he's angry because Elle's gone. And then season 3 he backslides a little bit because we've completely forgotten the friendship that he has with Will.
Honestly, and Dustin.
We can talk about that with Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin gets back from camp and he's so excited to show everybody all the cool shit he made.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Oh well, we gotta
Cerebro.
go. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry, bye."
Yeah.
Honestly, Will and Dustin should have been hanging out in season 3.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I've been gone all summer and I'm back and
Nobody cares.
nobody cares except for one person. Steven.
Our boy who has a lightsaber fight with him when he gets back.
Yeah.
How many children are you friends with?
Great.
Yeah, we couldn't not talk about Steve when we're talking about Dustin.
It's very hard.
It's so hard.
He came back from camp in season 3 with significantly more confidence than we saw him with in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be attributed directly to Susie.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that they had go on while they were at camp. And I'm just going to take a second. Season 5, the fact that they never bring up Susie is
irritating.
A bit of character assassination on Dustin, honestly.
We literally solved that problem when we were ranting about the finale when I was on that episode. Like, they could have just in passing mentioned something.
them breaking up.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Dustin's really bummed. Oh yeah, Susie, wow, what happened to her?
That could have happened off camera.
He even broke up with Susie.
Infinite opportunities in forms of dialogue to just explain that they broke up. That's all you need.
It could have been used as a line in passing to show just what a hard time he's having.
Exactly.
And they did not bother.
They didn't.
Even after utilizing her in season 4.
And also her introduction in season 3, not to just keep glazing season 3, is incredible.
It's amazing.
It's so
it's
good.
Because the whole time he's talking about this Susie, and you're starting to be like everybody else. Like,
she's
is
not
she
real? Yeah, is she real?
Is she real?
And then when she just comes out,
she's real.
I need you to sing. It's so good, and that whole montage of the fighting, and my god. And then it's like, give the character some respect. Like, okay, whether it was a logistical thing, like we can't get the actress, or it was just like we don't have the time to write this character, whatever. Put a small portion of dialogue in there to not kill her off, but kill her off essentially from the story. And they didn't. But that's it. I'm sorry.
It's a rush job.
This is Dustin Henderson.
Well, because he's got so much confidence, he tries to give Steve dating advice.
Yeah.
To be honest, if it wasn't for Robin's whole deal, it was sound advice. On the outside, Dustin saw somebody who he had great chemistry with.
Yeah.
And all he did was call it out. Arguably, Dustin's not wrong, except for the fact that she's not interested in men.
Yep.
And there's no way for him to know that.
Yeah.
I skipped.
Yeah, you're right. I wrote it right here. You die, I die. Season 3. You're right.
I told you.
Yeah, I know you're right.
See?
That is my favorite Dustin line, by the way.
So good.
That is my favorite line.
And one of the best lines to bring back in season 5.
Season 5.
Yeah. The stairs.
It's
after the stairs.
It's how they
Steve
reaffirm their friendship.
initiates it. Steve says it to him first.
Yeah.
When they finally talk to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll get back to season 5, but I think what's important to take away here is in season 3, he is constantly giving Steve shit in a way that we didn't see in season 2, but he's still very clearly Dustin's hero. Like
and it feels like best buddies giving you shit.
Yeah.
Which isn't just, putting you down. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's good advice. The intentions are good.
It's obvious when we see them together in season 3 and the way that they are together that they have been hanging out and doing stuff together
Like
since
off-screen.
season 2
Yeah.
left off. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Steve was driving him to school or picking him up. Clearly they've watched Star Wars together. They have the little handshake.
The idea of Dustin and Steve hanging out at Dustin's house watching Star Wars.
But you can see it.
Yeah.
Because of how they are together. You don't have a relationship like that and never see the person.
Yeah, there's an implied evolvement.
Yeah.
Evolution.
I imagine Dustin after the snowball going to Steve's house and Steve cracks a beer, gives him a soda, they put on Star Wars and he's like, all right, tell me what happened.
Right.
Dustin's mom comes in. Do you guys want snacks?
Because I can see in my head Steve is who picked him up after the snowball.
Right. Absolutely. Trying to avoid Nancy.
Yeah. And Dustin's dynamic with Erica in season 3 is great. They play off of each other really well too.
It makes me upset that they didn't get to do anything else after this season.
Yes, they did. They worked together in season 4.
Well, that's the thing is
Sort of.
They do at least in the earlier seasons, earlier being 1, 2, and 3. They do a good job of introducing it's only really Erica, but she's a new character at that point. But they're very good at just you get the context that they know each other.
That they've known each other,
even though we as the audience don't.
Yeah.
It's same way that with Steve, when the excitement that they both have when he shows up at the ice cream parlor is the same kind of dynamic that he has with Erica. It's just oh yeah, this is one of my best friend's sisters. I've known her my whole life. It's we don't know who the hell she is, but it just works.
It works.
It's she just slides right in. So with Dustin, it's him and Steve. It works really well, and without showing us anything, we can tell. They've been through some shit since we left off.
And also, as an audience, that whole reaction to Dustin coming back to see him, we wanted that because he got his little.
I put that in my notes. He wanted that reaction from his friends.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it.
Well, they did a big, welcome home thing.
But not in the way that yes, they welcomed him home, but that was it. They didn't really care about anything else.
They didn't care.
They all had other shit on their mind.
They all had other stuff on their mind. Meanwhile, his best friend is this 18-year-old kid who works at an ice cream parlor, whose first words out of his mouth is, "He's here! He's back! Like, he's
Henderson.
He's so excited to see him. And that's all that I feel like that is all that Dustin wanted from his friends was like, Dustin's back! What happened? Tell me all about camp. And he didn't get that, and he got it from Steve.
Yeah, you know, makes all his like closest boys like hike up to this mountain. I want to show you the Cerebro
Right,
thing.
we're gonna talk to my
We're
girl.
gonna talk to Susie. It doesn't work out, and like they're all kind of very dismissive. Whereas like when we see Dustin and Steve together for the first time, it's so good. It's just like, were you even friends with these other people? Like, you don't need them. Like, you got Steve. Like,
and even Robin
so
being
wacky.
like making fun of Steve for it.
Yeah.
His reaction isn't like, "Oh, I'm not really friends with this kid." It's like, "Don't listen to her. What we have is special."
Right.
Yeah. Perfect.
What else you got for? I have Daddy Dustin. I don't know what that means.
Daddy Dustin?
I don't know.
Taking
I guess
care-
that's taking care of them when they're drugged.
Because I know it is a very
yeah.
serious, specific term, babysitting. Dustin
Yes.
doesn't really do any babysitting, does he? In this, or is
I
he?
mean, they have to babysit Steve and Robin when they're drugged.
Yeah.
So maybe
He's
that's what that
trying
was
to
in
lead them-
relation.
He gets them in the movie
to.
theater. I think that's probably what.
That's
the scene you were
probably what
thinking
I
of.
mean. Yeah.
Great
Like, you
scene.
just sit here, eat popcorn, watch the movie. I have shit to do.
They immediately run off.
Yep. Like, yo, this movie's too much. We gotta go. And Robin's like, was that his mom? And Steve's like, what are you talking about? Sorry. But yeah, like,
Okay, so that I just didn't know what I meant by that note.
but also,
like him babysitting them after they've been drugged.
Yeah.
we didn't mention, but he and Erica go full hero. Dustin's
They
the one who grabs the
save
cattle
the
prod.
day.
Dustin saves them.
Dustin and Erica save them because if they did not come, they would have been dead.
Yeah.
They would have gotten killed.
And like he has that whole conversation with Erica about being a nerd, and like, you know, he has extensive knowledge about My Little Pony because he is a nerd.
Yeah. But just the whole setting of that, like them being in the vents and everything. It's a bit of a reach, but I feel like since, Stranger Things is all about them like wearing their influences on their sleeves, that felt very Alien 3. Like, oh, we have to turn off the fan and like we're here in the vents.
I don't think it's a reach. I think you're onto something. I think the movie references got more subtle.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's not use the word subtle to have to do with anything in season 3.
Anything post season 3.
Dude, season 3, they literally had Back to the Future playing in the background when they got on the radio with each other.
Yep.
They had the exact scene music. Da, da, da. He's like, I got the radio working.
And like the mall is so Fast Times. It's like, yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. But
so it's like I like to think that was an Alien 3 reference.
I believe you. I think they slipped a subtle Alien 3 reference in there.
It's not it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. With everything else being so overt,
mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for season 3. Except that he's so in love with Susie.
Yeah, we have to talk about Never Ending Story.
We have to.
Well,
we have to.
Okay. Yes.
We finally get the reveal that Susie does in fact exist.
She's real.
And she's so in love with him.
The stakes.
Yeah, but he loves her too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
The stakes are so high. Everybody's about to die. All the adults really need to know what the next step is, and he's
what's
just
Plank's
chiming
constant?
in. He's feeling so happy that, oh, awesome, Susie. Everybody knows that Susie's real, but like, no, we really need to get this shit done. And she forces him to sing the Never-Ending Story theme, and we get, in my opinion, the best montage, whatever you want to call it.
Iconic.
That is like my favorite. That might be my favorite scene in the series.
It is iconic. That's something about this show. They have so many like iconic scenes. You can pinpoint them from like every season, like an iconic scene.
Every season has one scene that defines the season.
Like the crescendo
yes,
moment.
And this moment, with everything going on, set to Susie and Dustin singing Never Ending Story, that is the moment for this season.
It's so perfect.
The look on every character's face while hearing it is the look you have on your face while watching season 3.
Like,
It's
what?
like, what are we doing here?
And like,
It's
oh my god, cutting back to them in the car being chased by the monster,
mind flayer.
and they're all looking at each other like, what is happening? With no interest in the monster chasing them.
And that's the thing too, is because like he doesn't feed Susie all the information, so she's just like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you the constant, but I need to
first
hear
you have to do
sing."
this.
You gotta do the thing I like.
And
I haven't heard from you in weeks.
he just runs with it because we don't have time. I don't have time to explain to you the first 2 seasons. So like, I'm just gonna sing, and it's that's probably my favorite scene in the entire series.
Yep. Turn around.
No, it's perfect. Perfect. And that is the quintessential season 3.
It does
scene.
so much all at once.
Cutting to Hopper and Joyce and Murray, and Joyce is like deeply confused. Hopper's like, I can't believe that this is what's happening right now. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like, we don't really see Dustin after that. Not until after everything's settled down.
Well, you see when he said obviously he's there saying goodbye to everybody, and he does get ribbed by Max and Lucas.
Of course he does.
They sing Never Ending Story to him. And then that's it for him for season 3.
But you know what?
Yeah, it's like a shining moment.
Yeah.
Dustin facilitated one of the best scenes with Max and Lucas.
Yeah.
Because them giving him shit at the end of season 3
it's such a
one
cute
of their
scene
best
between
couple
them.
moments.
Yeah. And then season 4. And we first see Dustin in season 4 talking to Susie, trying to get her to change one of his grades.
And she does. So we already get the concept here that Dustin is starting to become a bit of a rule breaker.
Yes.
Maybe taking school a little bit less seriously. Because he didn't give a shit about Latin.
Yeah. Everything else is like A's, and is it an F?
I think he had a D.
A D?
He had a D in Latin.
Yeah.
Latin's hard, even if you're smart.
I didn't take it.
Neither did I. I took Italian.
Took Italian.
Yeah.
I took Spanish.
Yeah, I took Spanish. Instead of doubling up on languages, I took Spanish 3.
My thing was like, I'm going to talk to my grandpa. My grandpa speaks Italian. And then I knew enough words to be like, where is the bathroom? And I understand which pasta you want to make tonight.
I have many notes for Dustin on season 4.
Gabagool.
Gabagool. So.
I also have a side note, in general. Season 4 tension was crazy high for everyone. The stakes were off the charts. I guess we'll just say that, because I wrote it down and I wanted to say it.
Well, yeah, every like season 3, things really start to get crazy, and then season 4 just fucking takes it.
Yes.
And runs with it.
Season 4 kind of went full horror movie, and I love it for that.
You see,
it's so good.
I feel like season 4 is probably like objectively the best season.
Season 4 is my favorite season.
It's so epic. It's so just everything is off the rails that season.
It's so good. I because of what I said, that's why it's my favorite season, because you don't know what is going to happen to anyone at any given point.
Yeah, it's that moment in a story arc where all of our characters are at their, but not lowest necessarily, all of them, but they all reach a point where you as an audience do not know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Empire Strikes Back of the series.
Yes.
You will never catch me being an apologist for season 5. The more time goes by, the less I feel like I could ever be that person.
Yeah.
But I will say, season 4 set an impossibly high bar for the show to go off on.
It really
That's the
did.
thing. Like, season 5, I feel like wouldn't suck as much if season 4 wasn't so crazy.
Yeah,
like,
if season 4 was toned down like a couple notches, season 5 we probably wouldn't be as heartbroken about it. season 4 was just off the rails.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
off the rails, but it all feels like
But in a good way.
It coalesces so well.
it's off the rails, but every step of the way feels meticulously placed. Whereas season 5 just feels like we have to end it. Let's just throw our shit at the
You're
wall.
right. Everything in season 4 matters.
Yes.
So let's talk about Dustin season.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
No, this is important because he's integral to a significant
This
chunk
is
of
so
season 4.
and everything that happens in season 4 kind of fully. Everything that happens in season 5 with Dustin is a direct reaction of what happens in season 4.
At least in the first
So,
episode
Yeah,
of season 5.
his temperament and everything. Though.
Yeah.
He's the only one. He's the only one willing to actually talk to Eddie because Mike's afraid.
Yeah, it seems like there's already
They're
been...
actually both kind of afraid before we even meet Eddie, and they're like talking about how are we gonna approach him about Lucas not coming. They both have some like
Trepidation.
fear
Yeah.
about this, and at first, like I remember the first time we watched it, I was like, okay, well, who's this Eddie person? Is he gonna be a dick to our boys?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, but not in a way that we dislike.
Right.
But even with Eddie, like that, like what we were just talking about with like the way that in season 3 they introduce Erica as like a full fleshed out character, and the way that they introduce the Dustin and Steve dynamic, it's like you kind of already feel that with Eddie in season
Because
4.
of how they talk about
The setup is
Yeah.
really good.
It's like, oh, this is how you have to talk to him. It's just like, oh, he'll understand, like kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's like, so they've been through some shit off screen.
Well, this is season 4 starts off in the middle of their freshman year of high school. So they're already established at the school, and they're
Yeah.
already ingratiated into Hellfire.
Short tangent. That's exactly what was missing from season 5. Is the integration that comes from just very solid dialogue to already put us in a place where we know the people we're being introduced to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we can tell why these people have a relationship just through what they're saying to each other.
Right. And
Not just here we are, there we are.
there wasn't a significant amount of new characters introduced in season 5, unless you count the kids, but they're their own thing, and I
Yeah.
don't judge it based on that. But that year gap is treated as a hand wave
Mhm.
when every other season has set up these characters in ways where we feel like we already know them once they hit the screen.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you can make an argument of like, oh, well, that's characters versus like, you know, an entire year's worth of time. I don't care. They proved they had the chops to write well enough to give us that.
Yeah. And then they just didn't.
And I feel comfortable talking about this in the context of Dustin because their relationship with Eddie is so heavily leaned onto Dustin.
Mhm. Yeah. Going away from Eddie, something that we noticed when we rewatched for this stuff, Dustin goes to Max about Hellfire and being Lucas's replacement, but this isn't about that. He's the only one that Max still confides in.
Yeah, she talks
Max
to him.
goes to Dustin after seeing what happened at the trailer.
Yeah.
At the trailer park.
And like, I think we talked about this a little bit. You could say maybe she would have went to Mike too.
But Mike wasn't
But Mike
home.
wasn't there.
But I don't think so.
I also don't think so. Because she and Mike, even as friends, are still mildly confrontational.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I think Dustin is still considered a safe place for her
Max.
to go.
Yeah.
I feel like all of them could confide in Dustin. Like I feel
Dustin's
like he would
that
be,
friend.
He is
he
that
would
friend.
be the one to go to, be like, hey, listen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He is your shoulder to cry on, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term. He's on Eddie's side from the get-go because we talked about Lucas being a ride or die. So is Dustin.
Dustin also talks Eddie down when they tell him that Lucas can't make it to the game. He's the one who gets Eddie in a better mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. After he throws pretzels at them.
Yep. You were wearing a Weird Al shirt, which I thought was brave. There's a borderline respect there.
And I love Dustin's thank you.
Thank you.
Um
This is the season where we start to see Dustin giving Steve shit, though.
Yes. Yes, Dustin does start to give, but they're still friendly though. Like
Yes.
there's a difference in the shit that's given in season 4 and the shit that's given in season 5. In season 5 it's downright mean.
Yeah.
And there's an animosity in season 5 that is not in season 4.
In season 4, it's more like, please just get on board with me. I know what I'm talking
Right,
about.
I know what I'm talking about. And, obviously Steve is a little bit jealous, even though he doesn't want to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve's also right in that Dustin can't let shit go. And, like,
Yeah.
he is a straight-up know-it-all. That whole argument about, where that rock, the skull rock is.
The skull rock thing, yeah.
And he's like, I was right, just let it go. And Dustin's like, yes, but no. I was right too because my compass was wrong.
Right.
It's like, Dustin, just you figured out something important. Take the L,
Yeah.
and then explain what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Steve is looking at him like, you can't just take the goddamn loss.
Yeah.
Like, just do.
He has to have the upper edge.
Yeah, he has to be right even when he's wrong.
It's his tone, right?
It's his tone.
You said this about, with him being able to handle Eddie in the school.
Mhm.
He's also the only one who can kind of handle him outside of the school.
When they find him at
When they
Rick's.
find him, that's why he's the only one who really knows how to handle Eddie at first. He's the one who talks him down.
If we're being real, Dustin is the one who figures out everything that's going on in season 4.
Yes.
For
You got-
at least for
Yeah.
a while.
Are you guys talking about the boathouse?
When
Yes.
Where he makes him chill out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so like after that, Dustin's the one who figures out that Max was in Vecna's mind. Dustin's the one who figures out that there's a gate. Dustin is the one who figures out how the gates are opening. Like,
I always the one to figure out what's happening. I literally have that as a note.
yeah. For a good chunk of season 4, they'd be completely in the dark without Dustin.
And still, with everything else going on in season 4, when Dustin's the one doing that, it still feels valid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like them just dancing. Like, it's like a paragraph written to just describe what's going on in the plot, and then we're just going to choose what character says what line
Mhm.
to explain what the fuck is going on this season, barely.
Mhm.
It's like, it felt real in
Yeah.
season 4.
And they've done such a good job of establishing Dustin as this person that he never feels like a Marshall Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just like, oh, Dustin's figuring out because
Yeah.
they need somebody to figure it out.
It's like, no, this all makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I just coined Marshall Sue, but I like it.
Wasn't there?
I've never heard
Mary
that
Sue.
before.
No,
I've
Mary-
never heard that before, but I knew
it's a
exactly.
Mary
what
Sue.
you
It's a
mean,
Mary-
like a
you know-
male Mary Sue.
Yeah.
I've never heard Marshall Sue before in my life, but that works.
Coining it. Came from us. Came from the
Oh,
Hawkins Hellfire Collective.
Marshall Sue.
What else you got for season 4? Cause I get depressy Betty a little bit.
Are you
He's
already up to Eddie's?
He's
That's
ready.
yeah.
He's ready for battle.
Battle.
Yeah.
Then I wrote, this friendship ruins him.
Well, before it gets to the.
It did though.
It's a-
It did.
Before it gets to the sad.
It was so wholesome, and then it was terrible.
Before it gets to the sad sacrificial bit with Eddie, I love just Eddie and Dustin just fucking poking at shit in
Yeah.
the house. Like, that's such a good scene. Them just like risking everything. Like, nah, we're gonna get these demo bats. Like, yeah.
Them playing the show and Dustin watching him rock out, and then they get downstairs. Most metal ever.
I
Like,
love-
it's
They're just
great.
they're amped up. They're just ready to do
I
their
love
thing.
Dustin's face watching Eddie play because he's got like stars in his eyes. He's just like, yeah, this is the coolest shit ever.
It's-
He's so cool.
It's all of us who have ever been like barricade at a concert. You know what I mean?
He's getting his own personal show.
Yep. I did write that he is very reckless at that point. Like, once the Demobats start coming at them, Eddie's the one keeping him safe because Dustin is being reckless with the fighting.
Yeah.
He's ready to stay there and keep fighting, and Eddie forces him up through the gate. And then tries to cut the gate off so he can't come back.
He does cut it off.
Well, it doesn't stop him from coming back.
Well,
I'm not going to be on Eddie's episode, but Eddie's death is stupid. He did not have to go so nuclear, did not have to cut the rope, etc., etc.
You're not wrong.
it's like a plot device for season 5.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But like
they can't because they couldn't do what they wanted to do with our favorite dynamic that we've been talking about this entire episode. They can't do what they wanted to do with Dustin and Steve without having that happen.
Yeah.
And like it kind of gives us one of the only parts of season 5 that
That's
I think
actually
is really redeemable.
Good.
That's actually enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
But like you're not wrong.
No.
At all.
No. No.
I don't. What other notes do you guys have for Dustin for season 4? Because I wanted to touch on what I would say is my second favorite scene with Dustin, which is a very sad scene.
I think that's it for me.
I think my last note is what you're talking about.
I think that's the last thing worth talking about.
Telling
Mr. Munson.
Yeah, him telling Wayne.
Dude, that scene is so satisfying.
It's the only time
it is so good.
Besides Eddie's actual dying in his arms. That's the only time we see Dustin upset because like we've seen he seems fine with everybody else, you know, he's reunited with his friends, and then he has to tell his uncle happened.
But he has to.
Nobody else could. He has to be the one.
Nobody else could. He has to. The way he does it is perfect.
Yep.
And even like, because we really don't know what the relationship dynamic is between this guy and Eddie. Like, we know Eddie, we love Eddie, but like...
I know what it is, but that's for the Eddie episode.
He always came across as very much being on his side.
Rewatching Boy Meets World, I get very much with Eddie a Sean Hunter vibe.
You wouldn't be wrong.
That is fantastic.
That's super lovable. Like, trailer trash has his flaws, but like super lovable, will do anything for his boys, like is a good person. And that's what we get. And it's like, it's so perfect. Because, like, we see the uncle, like, when Nancy's talking to him, like, just, like, you know, he seems a little indifferent, seems more pissed off, like, oh, God knows what he's up to now.
Well, no,
but he straight up says,
you're not going to believe my boy didn't do this.
I know he didn't do it.
Whereas, seeing him acting that way towards Nancy, and then seeing Dustin tell him later on, like, no, he died a hero. Ew. So perfect. Like, how dare you?
And like
best scene
after we recover from watching him die and all the stuff with Max, and it's like, okay, we're done crying.
We can breathe
now.
No,
we're not.
Yeah.
No.
We gotta get one more in.
But it's like they're getting one more in like a happy way. It's very bittersweet.
It works.
Yes.
It's like we've had bitter, Erica help, and then and then we have bittersweet. Which is just like, nah, he was a hero. And you can just tell that Dustin needed to say that, and his uncle needed to hear him say that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And who else to say it other than Dustin? Like, it brings out the best in everybody.
Yep. That's you can't see it because we're not on camera, but I just pointed at Matt. That's it. That's the best way to describe Dustin. Seasons 1 through 4. He brings out the best in everybody he's with.
Yeah,
I'm still on the Sean Hunter comparison.
It's so good
because it's really good, and like I read the Eddie book, which is like his life.
We can't go too far.
We're not. No. We're not gonna get too far into it.
This is Boy Meets World.
But like that. Having read the book and you saying that, like it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Like, just like the guy, like
it works.
Like, oh, nobody understands me. It's like, you'd be surprised.
It works.
Yeah. Don't put yourself in a box.
For the record, Boy Meets World is an accurate representation of Philadelphia, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. Great show. Incredible show.
Except none of them have our accent.
Season 5!
Oh. Really? Do we have to?
We have to because Dustin is a completely different character in season 5.
No, he's not. No, he's
Daenerys
not.
forgot about the Iron Fleet
He's a little different
this season.
because he's dealing with stuff.
I will say this.
Loved his introduction in season 5. Like, as much as I hate season 5, absolutely loved Dustin's, like, sad boy, depressed, post-Eddie death, just, I don't give a fuck about these jocks, I'm gonna pour acid on you. Like, just, his attitude is just like, oh, man, and, like, we're waiting for that redemption, you know, because we know Dustin's better than this, but, like, Dustin never got a moment where he hit rock bottom, and they squeezed that in the earlier. It's almost like they actually wrote the first couple episodes of season 5 and then stopped. Like,
you know what happened.
Like, I really feel it. I feel the Dustin shit in the opening of season 5. I genuinely feel it.
I got something to say. I think that no matter what we would have gotten from season 5, I think they did. I think they wrote at least a solid outline of what they wanted to do with Dustin and Steve.
Yes.
Because everything they did with Dustin and Steve, specifically their scenes together and their scenes apart from each other that had to do with each other,
are
good. And they're solid. They're solidly written in a way that most of the season is not.
They're one of the few solid parts of the season. Like,
right.
Which we even mentioned earlier the staircase scene. Like, that too. Like,
that
all feels
I
very
have
strange.
notes on that.
And not to get ahead of ourselves here, but when Steve gives his whole idea of what to do, and like he's actually got the final plan for how to handle things, Dustin walks in to back him up. And it's natural.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh, we're doing that thing Stranger Things does, where we're just explaining the plan. No, it works. Steve seems like for the first time ever, he knows what he's talking about. And Dustin recognizes that, steps up with him, and is like, yes, and it all feels right.
It feels fleshed out.
I'm going to defend Steve real quick. Mm-hmm. Steve knows what he's talking about, and more than just that final moment of season 5.
It's the first time he's ever
It's the first time that he's created a plan, but he always knows what he's talking about, and everybody always dismisses him.
I don't want to get too far into this argument, but I will say I think you're right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I agree 200%. Like,
get very heated about.
Like, come on, and that's all the more reason why season 5 sucks. It is because you have scenes like this with Dustin and Steve that work and feel fleshed out and are developed, and then you have everything else which just feels so just skeletal. Just let's coast along to finish it.
You know what? And not to divert further.
We are diverting.
I'm sorry.
So much.
On that topic, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, I feel like we got that same level of care actually put into a lot of the stuff with Holly. Like, it seemed like they thought about what they were going to do with that.
The only reason why I disagree with you with that is because it's all new. To me, that's all ham-fisted. That's all shit we're shoving in.
But I think that's what they wanted. It's the one thing. It's something they wanted to write, and the writing was better in those scenes because they wanted to do it.
But I don't like that, and I don't care about it. I haven't had enough time with it to care about it. I'm more concerned about the shit with, like, Steve and Dustin, which, like, makes sense and feels fits. Yeah. Because I've been spending years with these people. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think...
Like, I'm all for the Holly shit, but, like, too little too late is the way I look at it.
This isn't an argument of, like, whether we care about it or not, because you're completely right. It's that I think the writing is better during it, because it's something they wanted to do as opposed to the rest of season 5, which feels like something they felt like they had to do because they lost interest.
It became a job, not a passion project.
Let's go back to Dustin.
Go back to Dustin in season 5.
Sorry, everyone.
He's very disinterested in Steve. He's getting picked on by Jason's cronies. He provokes them. He's emulating Eddie.
Because he's fucking broken, man.
He's broken.
He watched Eddie die, and his other
Eddie
closest
died
boy...
in his arms.
And his other closest boy, Steve, who didn't really have much empathy towards Eddie, isn't giving him much attention either, and his boys are also kind of nobody's supporting him. He
They're
has
trying-
no support system.
You're right. And the whole conversation that his boys have with him at the beginning, after the whole thing with the bully, is, yo, you got to keep your head down.
Right.
And Dustin is absolutely right. He's like, we never keep our heads down.
We never
Yes.
play by the rules.
It's how-
We never do that. Why is it that
It's
we're
how
doing
we
it now?
win.
We
Yeah.
literally fought the Russians. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo, I went
now-
into a
oh.
bunker.
yes. It's like, now I'm just gonna, just lay down? So I get that, of like, knowing that you're right and nobody is supporting you and you're lashing out. And then that's when the cemetery scene happens. And oh my God, I love that scene.
He sticks to his principles
love it.
through and through. And no matter how reckless you say he's being, because he is, he stands up for himself.
Yeah.
He holds his own against
He's
them
4 dudes.
pretty well.
Throughout the entire series, between Dustin and Steve, I would have to look more into Steve. I think they are the most consistent characters.
Yeah, no question.
Like, they do what they know is right, and regardless of what weird shit is happening in the series, they're just like, no, I have to do this. And it's good every time.
It really does seem like if everybody listened to Dustin in season 4 and just we would have had a completely different outcome.
Yeah.
If everybody wasn't so
Would have had a
quick
better
to-
final season.
Yeah. If everybody wasn't so quick to say, let's fall in line and follow the rules of engagement that we've created here, we would have had a completely different season, and it would have been more satisfying. Dustin, within the writing of the own goddamn season, is right and would have made it better.
Yeah.
So, Dustin's the best thing about season 5.
I have more things, but you know,
Go for it.
I was just gonna talk about the whole, Dustin and Steve not being friends. But you're just going off on season 5 and how bad it is. I'm just gonna sit here.
Well, it is really bad. It is really bad. But
And it would have been better if Dustin was in charge.
But it being bad leaves a lot more to talk about.
But
So
I
you're
was
good.
just gonna say, his fight with Steve, he says that he had a true friend in Eddie, to the one person who's been there for him the entire time.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like
he's pushing him away out of fear because he doesn't want to. He's pushing him like we had talked about this when we were watching it. My thought was he's acting that way because he doesn't want to have that closeness anymore, because when he inevitably loses him, it will be easier for him to deal with.
well, because Dustin feels responsible for the death of Eddie.
Because he tried,
Which-
he couldn't get to him and help him.
Which he isn't responsible for.
He's not.
Eddie basically just fucking offed himself.
Steve was right about that.
Steve, thank you. Steve is right about that.
He is
and
right
that's
about
the
it.
thing is because, but like,
And Dustin knows that, and that's also
that's
an
where
issue.
it feels like a real friend argument. Like, it's just like, no, you're both right, but like, the disagreement that you have is just you never quite reach closure.
Yeah.
And they have that argument. It turns into fisticuffs, and it's just bullshit. Steve never actually takes a swing. At
I was just
No,
he
that
never
entire scene.
the only
because
time
he's
that
best boy.
right any time that he lays his hands on Dustin, it's so that Dustin doesn't hurt himself.
Yes.
He pushes
Or
he
to like push
deflects.
him away. He never throws a punch, he never throws any object back at him. He doesn't. And when when he walks away at the end of their fight and he's like, I'm done, he's like ready to cry.
Yeah.
Because he loves this kid.
Yep. And that's what makes the staircase
Oh my
scene
god.
all the more important.
Yep.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, regardless of what you've been through, like, when it comes to a life or death situation, you know what needs to be done. It's just like, dude, all that previous fight goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, dude, no, I can't go through this again. This is stupid. You
The
can't do
the
this.
wall comes down. He can't pretend not to
No.
care.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no, like this is too much. No, this can't happen.
And in classic Dustin
won't
fashion,
let
he's
this
right.
happen.
Right.
Yeah.
The not you is just like, oh my god.
Because you know that deep down, even though he loved Eddie and feels the way he did about Eddie that Steve can't relate to, he still has that OG special
Right.
bond with
Yeah.
Steve.
Eddie was a new friend. Steve has been his friend and been in his life since
Steve's
he was,
Steve's
you know,
his brother.
a kid. Right.
Yeah.
Honest, like Steve is like he doesn't. He's like his dad in a way.
Kinda,
You know,
yeah.
like he doesn't have one.
Taking us back to that maternal shit, like
Yeah.
he lashes on to male leaders, and it was like, Steve was like is the one.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie was like a nice little side quest for him.
You can almost
and then
see
once
it.
that came to shit, and he was like all fucked up because Steve and him weren't on the same page. Once Steve comes back and they're still disagreeing because Steve has some hostility towards the Eddie situation. Once they're in a life and death situation, like he knows, it's like, dude, no, not you. Like,
Mhm.
come on.
You can also see
Like,
Dustin's
I will-
relationship with Steve with Eddie
Mm-hmm.
as a bit of teenage rebellion.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
has no
He
one else to
started
rebel
high
against.
school. There's no
so
like.
Steve.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Oh, that's a good way to put that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve is his
Yeah.
father. Eddie was his brother.
Yeah.
Who is your daddy?
And
what does he do?
Well, he works at Scoops Ahoy.
No, it's Family Video.
Family
no,
Video.
the squawk.
Man is always employed.
He's always employed. He keeps the weapons that he had with Eddie,
And he gives
and he
Steve's
gives
Eddie's
Steve
spear.
Eddie's spear.
That's all schmaltz.
It is, but
That's all schmaltz.
I know. But I eat it up. Nom, 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 nom.
Like,
Pudding.
it's the olive branch. It is like pudding.
Well, 'cause I
He
said-
found the pudding.
He found the
I'm gonna have to adjust the levels on this episode.
But like
Those
I
laughs look pretty crazy.
I know it's schmaltz. I know it's cheesy. I don't care. I love it. Same as when they go in to fight the thing and they're like, for Eddie. Like, I'm all about that.
Stranger
Like,
Things is also schmaltz the show.
it is, and I love it.
And yeah, exactly. And seasons 1
Well,
through
like-
4 do it perfectly.
It's not schmaltz like This Is Us. It's schmaltz that feels like it's yeah. It's schmaltz that feels good. It's not self-serious.
It's not This Is Us. Great reference.
Well, if we're talking about schmaltz,
Hey, we watched that entire series.
all the more
I
reason
didn't.
to be an authority on it.
Right.
Oh my god. Oh,
The things I've watched,
forgot that show existed.
the things I've seen. But like, yeah.
Season 5 is the This Is Us-ification of Stranger
Oh my
Things.
God. I love the, he does his tribute to him, to Eddie. His mom is so proud. Steve is so proud. And I love that in Dustin's epilogue, like,
He still makes time to go on the occasional adventure,
With-
and Steve.
and it's with Steve in a Winnebago type RV.
That's the other thing. Every complaint I have about season 5, every complaint I have about the finale, I honestly don't have any complaints about Dustin.
No.
none.
Like
can't.
Dustin is pretty fucking perfect. Through
He's
the
a
entire
character
series.
fully fleshed
I
through
have-
the
Yes.
entire show.
I have a complaint, but it's not about Dustin. It's about their editing. They gave Dustin Eddie's bat tattoos and then decided not to shoot it in the way that you could see them.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
His bat tattoo.
There's-
Where were Eddie's bat tattoos?
Eddie had bat tattoos on his arm,
Mhm.
and there was like behind the scenes pictures that came out during it's Dustin's epilogue where he's like going to meet up with Steve, and he's got them on one of his arms, and then
Why
the
wouldn't they
way
keep that?
that it's shot, you can't. It's
We
the
had
other
tattoo
arm.
fatigue. Yeah, I had tattoo fatigue.
And that makes me mad. That makes me mad. But I digress. What?
I
What?
God damn.
they cut so much that would have helped. We're not going to talk about it.
No,
Let's
do it.
keep
No,
going.
but that's all.
No, if
We're
it,
already an hour and 14
yeah,
minutes.
man.
No, I'm not going to talk about it because it's just more complaining about season 5 and things that were left out and things that they could have done that they didn't. And I've said it on so many episodes already. Let's focus on Dustin.
I've always been
Okay.
torn, or would say I think it's a tie of who's the best character, Dustin or Steve. I think there's no argument Dustin is the best character. Dustin is the best character because even through season 5, which is such an unlikable season, it has its flaws, it has its moments, it has its highlights. Dustin is so consistent, and like when he reaches his peaks and valleys, he's just like he brings out the best in every other character,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't change. He's still Dustin
At the core.
at the end, at the
Yeah.
core. Like you know, like you fucking held your boy in your arms while he died, and you're giving him a tribute in graduation after all the other shit that you've been through in season 5, all that convoluted shit.
Mm-hmm. He's
Like, you're
doing what
still-
he
you're
wanted,
still
what he
doing
couldn't
what you
do.
want. You
Mhm.
still have your mother support system. You still have your Steve support system. Like, you still have your boys. Like, you're just, it's, I think he really is like just he's the heart. He's the heart. You're the
know
heart,
what?
Dustin.
Yeah.
You're the
He
heart.
is.
He is.
I attribute a lot of that to Gayton.
Mike
Gayton's
fucking
performance.
wishes.
Yeah.
Mike wishes.
Mike wishes. But like even his final line of like I believe, he's the first to say it.
I
and the
love how
way
he says it.
Like everyone else is blubbering and like
Yeah.
He
yes,
is too.
yes, he says it through tears, but he says it with a level of conviction that character has earned through 5 seasons.
And then even
love
that
it.
that whole little callback that they add with the one girl that he was crushing on
In season 2, that the
in
one that he
season
asked
2.
to dance and she said no.
Yeah. Like that whole thing, like they don't make that overly schmaltzy, they don't make it whatever, they make it pretty real. It's just like she's like interested and then he still says the wrong thing.
Yep.
I love
Because
that.
he's still Dustin.
He's still Dustin.
It doesn't matter how cool he gets.
Yeah.
He's still the
He's
same person.
still himself.
You know what? I'm putting it on record. I have officially decided Dustin is the best character of the show. I was always torn between him or Steve. I think Dustin's the best. Dustin's the best. He's been through the most.
Yeah.
Fuck
Mm-hmm.
the Mike and 11 thing. Like Dustin's been through the most. I feel very confident in that.
He's
Please
had
disagree.
the most personal journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't disagree with you. You're right.
No.
It
The only
feels-
other character who may have gone through would be Will. But what Will goes through is more supernatural
Yeah.
stuff, so it's harder to relate to. And I feel like that's another reason why Dustin comes out on top, because everything that Dustin goes through is grounded in reality.
Yeah.
It's things that people deal with
Yeah, it feels relatable.
all the time. You can relate to it. No, you can't really relate to the stuff that Will has gone through because it's not real. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Will also lives for a little too long in a state of arrested development.
Mm-hmm.
Where he kind of can't grow because of the trauma he's been through.
Yeah.
And I can see that being very relatable for an audience. I really can. Like, I think people can be there, but like, I would say just as much of that could also be attributed to Dustin's growth through all 5 seasons. So yeah, it's still Dustin.
But that's the thing is, as much of season 5 is unlikable, like the consistency with Dustin is still there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have. Do you guys have any complaints about Dustin for season 5? I can't think of anything.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a complaint. I mean, all of
Because
the
even when they take out the spider, which was a big thing about how easy it is for all of our crew to take out this giant fucking Elden Ring boss, in the series finale. It's like the fact that it's a callback to Eddie. They're spiking him.
He's not up there with the crew laying fire in. He's getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, he's just doing what he can while he can, and it's
I made I shouldn't really say it's a complaint about him. I wrote a note that was like, I love Dustin, but Dustin pisses me off in this season, and I just don't like in season 5. Yeah, my only thing, I don't like how shitty he is with Steve. And we'll talk. We can talk about we can talk about that more in Steve's episode. He's lashing out at Steve as as a fear trauma response, essentially.
A teenage
fear trauma response. And like because we're looking at it through Dustin's lens right now, like, we're not going to see, like, Steve is showing concern for him, just not in the way that Dustin needs it to be.
It's not what he needed at the time.
Exactly.
Like, right. It's and just think about
Steve's coming at it as more of like a tough love situation. But I will say this, whenever we see their dynamic, Steve is getting shitty with him too. And we talked about how, like, this season we don't have any of that, like, we can see that, like, this was established earlier on. I feel like with the way that they are acting with each other when we meet them in season 5, that to me is like, okay, we've been going off.
Yes.
The two of them have been going off since we left them at season 4. This didn't come from nowhere.
We get context without seeing
because of how angry Steve is. It's kind of like, okay, he's been trying for a really long time and it's not getting anywhere. So now we're at this level.
This is why I think this was written ahead of time.
Well, between season 4 and 5, I feel just like what we were saying about Erica and Eddie, like introducing new characters or introducing context with old characters between seasons. Like between season 4 and season 5, like it's like, okay, he watched Eddie die. He's been through the telling of Eddie's guardian, his uncle, like what he's been through, everything. It's like, it feels very much like he's been through a lot of shit. He isn't expressing it to all his boys correctly. And based on the context that we have of what Steve's been through the Steve lens, and what Dustin's been through in the Dustin lens, like, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on off screen.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
That we're
getting it.
We're going right into it.
We're getting it in the middle of it.
No one needs to say, this happened off screen, like with Susie.
Right.
Yeah.
We know.
We
know. We can see it by right. We can see it. We can feel it by how they are with each other.
Through the dialogue and the performance
played out. Exactly. It's the dialogue and yes.
And I think that in itself is a testament to the chemistry between Gaten and Joe and Joe Keery and how they are together.
Yeah, it's like with how broken Dustin is in the beginning of season 5, it's like we can tell, like, okay, I'm sure since the death of Eddie and since that day when he talked to his uncle in the gymnasium and everything, it's like I'm sure they've had several conversations, several disagreements. Him and his boys, it's just like, oh yeah, you should stop wearing that shirt, etc., etc. It's just like nobody's on his side and everything. We learn that, we feel that just through simple dialogue.
Nobody cares as much as he does.
Like he's fucking going through shit and nobody is supporting him. And the way that they handle it was awesome. Well, I wish they handled the story the same way.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Steve was offering him support and he wasn't taking it in the way that he was also offering it in a way that only Steve. The only way Steve knows how.
That's because Steve also has a skewed opinion.
But I also feel like that's why when we see their dynamic and Steve is angry, it's because he's been trying for, a year and a half to try to get Dustin to confide in him, to talk to him, and he's not.
Yeah,
That's
because Steve was never really super empathetic towards Eddie.
No, but Dustin is
So-
his friend.
Yes. So like to him it's just like, no, I just want my boy back. And Dustin's just like, no, dude, you haven't been where I am. And it's like it's so simple.
You haven't
but
lost
it's
anybody.
Just, yeah, it's
And it's true, Steve hasn't lost anybody through this show.
Mhm.
Like, the most you could say is he lost his relationship with Nancy. No one has died that Steve had any kind of strong relationship with.
I have notes about loss with Steve, but we'll get there when we have Steve's episode.
Lost.
Yes.
Sure.
About loss, like
Oh.
losing people. I told you I have extensive notes on Steve.
Who's Steve?
No, Steve's feelings about losing
Gotcha.
Eddie.
Yeah,
Because it does impact him too.
it does. He feels like
We're not talking about Steve today. It's not Steve's episode. We're not getting into it.
It's a different kind of anger than Dustin's.
Thank you. Yes, that's all we need to say. But we're
Yeah.
not talking about Steve today. We're already almost an hour and a half in.
But
on
you know what?
Dustin.
Oh
But
my
you know
God.
what? It's why they can't see eye to eye about it, because their anger from that situation
Is in two different
comes
places.
It comes from two
Yeah.
completely different places.
But that to me is what makes it so real. Is like
Yeah.
they come from completely different places. You know they love each other, but it's just like, dude, we're never gonna see eye to eye on this. How do we handle it? Steve handles it in a Steve way. Dustin handles it in a Dustin way, and it just
I would argue
Perfect
that
conflict.
the only other relationship in season 5 that even comes close to the same level of like fulfilling dialogue and on-screen chemistry is Lucas and Max.
Once Max wakes up.
Yeah. It's the only one that even comes close.
nah. I hated that whole thing. I hated that whole scene.
Her waking up?
Yeah,
Oh,
stupid. Oh, Hopper, you're here too. Cool.
We're
Hey.
that has
digressing.
nothing to do with Lucas and Max. It's just
We're
that.
digressing.
The only thing I liked about that scene was him admitting that he was
He hated Kate
Sick
Bush.
of that song.
He was sick of the Kate Bush song. That felt like it was aimed at me.
So, like, I guess what else is there to say?
There's
if
really
anything?
nothing else to say.
Um,
I don't have anything else.
I'm deeply happy that our boy got whatever therapy he needed and went on to be the scholar he was born to be while still maintaining that adventurous streak with Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think he and Steve cross-country cruised the world over the summers and found
I think they
adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you
they
have any more notes for season 5?
Dustin? No, I don't
I'm
have
out.
them. I'm out of no- my last note was about him doing his tribute.
Which is the perfect
It's-
send off
Yes,
to Eddie and to Dustin. And the fact that his mom supports him during it.
she's all about
Mr.
it.
Clark.
Yep.
Mr. Clark's on
Him
board.
having that other faux pas with the lady he's crushing on. Like it's all very Dustin. I love it. Best character.
Best boy.
Putting it on record, best boy, Dustin.
All right. I mean, he's our favorite, so that's why our catchphrase is what it is.
Yeah.
It took until today for me to confirm it, but I have no other counter arguments. Dustin's the best character.
Dustin,
Steve.
Steve, Eddie. That's what it is.
Do you know
for
why
me.
he's the best character?
He's a one-off. Yeah.
You know why Dustin's the best
I
I have a
character?
shrine.
Shrine.
He's barely a character.
Oh, before we sign off, shout out to Tom Alley Adventures.
Tim.
No, it's Tom Alley
Oh, it is,
Adventures
it
on
is.
Instagram.
It is.
I shout out the Instagram handle.
T. O'Malley.
It's okay. T-O-T. It looks like
His
Tom.
last name's O'Malley.
Okay. I'm reading the Instagram handle. What is it?
T. O'Malley.
There you go. Shout out to you. You got it right away by using our catchphrase, which made me smile. So thank you for listening to us ramble and rant for hours on end every week.
Tim the Tool Man O'Malley. Ow.
That's a reference I guarantee he gets. He's going to love that. So, why is Dustin the best character, honey?
Because Dusty Buns gets it done.